Świeżo po koncercie Poznań Terrorym Fever 3 ze mną the legendary Spice One. I must say it's a privilege to be able to talk to you.
It is a privilege to be here, man. You know, I mean, as far as getting all the way out here, you know, even, you know, I mean, just even, you know, when I got shot back in 07 and making it through that and getting out of the hospital and getting back to health and all of that shit, and then ended up back out here with y'all, man, is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? It's like real shit.
We're gonna talk about that also, but first of all, I must talk to you about your Home Street Home record. It's been advertised since early 08 when you drop a single with St. Queen.
Yeah.
And why it's been 4 years, and why this album still is unreleased?
Because we're working on 3 different projects. We got the Home Street Home album, we got the Haters Nightmare album, and we got the Legends album, and we're trying to drop them all like back to back. So, you know, it's like the Haters Nightmare, we dropped the Home Street Home, the Haters Nightmare, then we dropped the Legends album. The Legends album consists of all of the OGs. The Home Street Home album, we mixing that down, we dropping that shit. Just stay tuned for that and the Haters Nightmare. You know, we ain't gonna drop it till it's right, so we gonna make sure that shit is hot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never cheat my fans. Every time I drop some shit, it's gonna be hot. So just look, you know, that just mean I'm in the kitchen working, man. They don't call me Spice for nothing, you dig?
Can you tell us something about the features or the production? Because like 3 years ago, there were rumors that Ice Cube and Dapsy gonna be on it. I know that you were on some magazine cover with them, and are Ice and Dapsy willing to work with Spice One?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, Cube, he always been my homie, man. As far I always looked up to him when I was a youngster, and you know, he was a big inspiration to me. Dub C too, those is both my homies. You know what I'm saying? We go way back. We've been knowing each other for years, and as soon as we get together on this new album, man, it's gonna be some hot shit, man. You know, we gonna stay. We gonna keep it popping. We gonna stay. So you stay tuned, man. You know what I'm saying? I talked to Cube when we was at a show in Detroit. And you know, he like, man, you know, I'm ready for whatever. So I'm ready to get down. And Dub C, you know, he ready to get down. So, man, y'all stay tuned, because we going to drop some hot shit in a minute.
I want to get back to the basics. What was the spark that made Spice One decide to be a rapper? And growing up, what were your musical influence?
I said, well, my musical influences was like, you know, like Roger Troutman, Zapp, like, you know, all of the old school funk bands and shit like P-Funk and George Clinton and all of that. You know, that was a lot of inspiration to me. And still, you know, as far as opening up for NWA when I was 16 and, you know, and Too Short coming to pick me up from school, the whole thing just like was overwhelming to me. So I felt like it was something that I had to do, you know, to do my thing. You know, I felt my fans was looking for me, and you know, it just got me really fired up, you know what I'm saying? And here I am, you know, 2013, still putting it down, you dig?
Let me quote one of your tracks. The homie Too Short used to pick me up from high school, G. You talk a lot about your relationship with Too Short, but how did it start? Did he sort of hear your rap and decided that I want to put this cat on the map?
Yeah, you know, it really went like that. You know, you know, he called my house one time after I got out of school, and I was like 16. And he called the house, and he like, man, I'm coming to get you from school tomorrow. And I'm like, you know, okay, you know, what the fuck? I'm tripping out and shit. I'm like, he ain't fucking coming to pick me up from school. Like, what the fuck? But next thing you know, I get out of school, and then he got it was a black Mercedes-Benz parked in front of my school, and they was waiting for me. So I got in the car, and it was Too Short. We went to the studio, you know, smoked a little bud, drank a little drink, and got it popping. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's like an uncle to me in this rap game. That's like an uncle to Spice One. Too Short is Spice One's uncle in the rap game. Real shit.
You released your self-titled album in 1992. The Bible of hip-hop placed it among 100 greatest hip-hop records of all time.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you saw that?
I felt like I was really a part of the hip hop movement. You know what I'm saying? And like I actually accomplished something and got and reached all of the people that I was trying to reach as far as, you know, through my music. And it just let me know to actually, you know, just keep going, you know, don't stop, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta love this shit to keep going. So that was one of the reasons that keep me going every day when I, you know, look at shit like that and say, okay, you know, I matter, I make a difference, I'm in this shit, you know what I'm saying?
On that album, you had many classic singles. For example, Welcome to the Ghetto, that classic line, I wonder if heaven got a ghetto.
Yeah.
Did Tupac ever told you that that verse from your record, I wonder if heaven got a ghetto, my cousin died last year but I still haven't let it go.
Yeah.
Did Tupac ever told you that that verse inspired him so much that he gonna take it and do a whole record about it?
Yeah, you know, I mean, me and Tupac, we taught each other a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as everything, you know what I'm saying? As far as lyrics and as far as street knowledge and knowing what you're talking about. I mean, we sit up there all day and just talk about real shit. And by the time we finish, we'll both have some homework to go back to the studio and write a song for. You know what I'm saying? So we talked a lot and kicked it a lot, man. And, you know, we was influenced each other a lot. So you might hear a lot of him and me, and you might hear a lot of me and him. So cause we kicked it. We was hanging when we was like 19. We used to stand by the liquor store and wait to ask people to buy us alcohol. So I mean, it was crazy, man.
How did you end up meeting Tupac? Because let me quote you on one of your records. I was doing in my neighborhood video shoot, but at the same time my homie Pac did juice. Was it how did you end up meeting Pac?
Well, he actually just came to the video, you know.
Just like that?
He just popped up at the In My Neighborhood video and was like, Spike's motherfucking one, what's up? You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, kick that stutter shit. He loved the stutter rap, that was his shit. So he showed up as soon as I see him at the video, he like, man, kick that stutter rap and shit, that's what's up, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I laughed at him, I thought that was my homie, I'm like, that nigga crazy. So, we hit it off from the jump as homies, man, you know what I'm saying? Because I was looking around, you know, I was watching Juice, and I was like, that nigga crazy, like, that's the type of motherfucker I kick it with, you know what I'm saying? And here he come popping up at the video, so it was cool, you know what I'm saying?
On your 187 He Wrote record, you had a single, Trigger Got No Heart. It ended up on Menace to Society. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you and Pac the original Kane and O-Dog?
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up. You looking at the original O-Dog. Spice One is the original O-Dog. Tupac is the original Kane, man. Tupac was supposed to be Kane in the movie. I was supposed to be O-Dog, Menace to Society. You know, but I mean, I got the soundtrack. I mean, a lot of shit go on in this business, you know, as far as personal and business shit, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, motherfuckers was fighting and all at the video and shit. It was some gangster shit going on back in the day, man, you know. That's the reason why me and Pac wasn't in Menace to Society, because, you know, the Hughes brothers, you know, they had fired, they fired Pac without even telling him, you know what I'm saying? And so he was pissed off about that shit, and, you know, we was all mad. And
that was the reason that he fight them on the video set of Trigger Got No Heart?
Yeah, that was the reason. I mean, we looked at the newspaper and it said Tupac is fired because he come to the set drunk and high and can't remember his lines. I'm like, okay, he might be drunk and high, but he gonna remember his motherfucking lines, man. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, they put the shit out there and we didn't even know. So once they did it, you know, Pac was fired up. He wasn't no way I could calm his ass down. He wanted to fight and shit, so.
Over the past 20 years, you have released over 10 solo records.
Yeah.
I must ask you, what's the favorite Spice One record to Spice One? A lot of people brought 187 He Wrote. My personal classic is 1996.
Yeah.
But Tupac even said that 187 he wrote is the hardest rap album ever recorded.
Yeah.
What's Spice One favorite record?
I mean, well, my favorite record that I did was America's Nightmare. Right here, you know, with Tupac on there, Jealous Got Me Strapped, E40 on there, Method Man. You know what I'm saying? I just had a few features on there. We kicked it, and you know, we all recorded the songs together. It wasn't like, you know, I sent him the track over the internet or some shit. We was in the studio recording, so that's why this is my favorite album, because everybody I recorded on there with, we were in the studio kicking it and hanging out together, and that was some live shit to me. You know what I'm saying?
On America's Nightmare, you had some big features. You had Tupac, you have E40, but how did the collab with Method Man came to the picture? Because 1994 was like the start of that whole East-West drama.
Yeah.
West Side Connection was beefing with Kamen at the time.
Yeah.
How did you end up working with him?
Well, me and Meth been cool for a long time, you know what I'm saying? So we just put all that bullshit behind us. You know, it was certain cats that was getting down. You know, and Meth, he wasn't in that little circle where they was trying to bang on Pac, you know, so he was still cool with me. Him and Redman and the other artists that wasn't trying to bang on Pac because he was smashing on Biggie, that was between Tupac and Biggie. Everybody else that jumped in, that's who we came to get. You know what I'm saying? So Meth never came in. You know, he was trying to, you know, he was like, man, I'm out here trying to have fun and get my money, and I respected that, and so was I. You know what I'm saying? But you know, every time I came out to New York, I got so much love from Method Man and Redman and Wu-Tang Clan and all of them and shit. I couldn't fucking diss them cats. Those was my homies. You know what I'm saying? So it was only a few cats that was, you know, that was smashing on Pac that I was kind of like, that shit ain't cool, you know what I'm saying? That's between him and Biggie. So, but now it's like, ever since all of that shit happened, everybody came together and we all cool, you know, we chilling and shit. You know, even everybody there, even only cat I haven't talked to that had beef with Pac back in the day is Jay-Z. And you know, Biggie, I knew he was a Spice One fan. I seen an interview with him and he was listening to my music and shit. So, I mean, I hadn't met Biggie. Him and Pac was hanging out kicking it, but I never met Biggie, and Pac must have been telling him about me and shit, and you know, it was just destined for me to meet up with Biggie and kick it with him and shit, and you know, it's just unfortunate that shit happened, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, these is real niggas that out here on these streets, and we ain't fucking around, you know what I'm saying? We don't really got no time for no bullshit. We just trying to get our money and have fun at the same time. But when you get these motherfuckers that come in here in the mix and try to fuck the whole game up, then we gotta smash. I mean, that's what we here for as far as gangster rap artists. We here to keep some motherfucking control into this shit and what you call this shit regulate, man. You know what I'm saying? If a 5-year-old shoot a 7-year-old because he's a Crip and he's a Blood, then we step in. That's when we step in. If a 7-year-old, 13-year-old shoot a 12-year-old because he's a Crip and then 12-year-olds is a Blood, that's when gangster rap artists like us step in. That's where you need us at. Otherwise, the shit is gonna keep happening and ain't nobody gonna mediate the shit. So once they cut the gangster rap out of the program, then it ain't no fucking control. You know what I'm saying? You got niggas walking around here in tight ass jeans, dressing like they from Flashdance and shit. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers just doing weird ass shit. And I don't want to be a part of that weird ass shit. I still wear saggy ass baggy jeans and I sag my pants and I wear jerseys. I keep it gangster. All that other shit, I don't know what the fuck these niggas is doing. I separate myself from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Let them, they can have that shit. Y'all can have that whack ass shit. I'm gonna stay with the 90s and stay on some real shit. Y'all can have that shit. Fuck that shit.
That's what's up. It's funny that you mentioned Biggie because I got a sort of controversial questions for you regarding the Big Papa. In 1995 or late 1994, he did an interview with some Canadian newspaper, and they asked him to rank certain rappers from 0 to 10.
Yeah.
And both you and E40 received 0 from him. he's saying that he don't know you and he don't like your rapping style.
Yeah.
I know that when Biggie came to the West Coast, there was some drama going on in Sacramento, and some of E40 homies were very offended by that statement. I need to ask you, did you ever had the chance to talk with Biggie and to ask him what's up with that?
Nah, you know, I really wish I did, but you know, as far as is when, you know, I was at the point to where when I first got to New York for the first time in my life, and I stepped out of the cab, it was two niggas standing down the street, and they were screaming Spice One, and their names are Run DMC. Now, when they gave me my props, and they said I was the shit, then I didn't give a fuck about what no other New York nigga said or what New York nigga thought about it. All I knew is that Run DMC gave me love, and I was like, fuck it. So it didn't matter after that. He could have said anything. I got my props from Run DMC. He could have said any fucking thing. I'd have been like, shit. Well, DMC said my shit is knocking, so fuck you. And Run said my shit is knocking, so fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it might have been a time where he didn't really know. He could have been speaking on some shit that he didn't listen to. And as far as I never got to meet him through Pac. You know what I'm saying? So because him and Pac fell out before I even got a chance to meet him. So I mean, and then I seen another interview where he was saying like he liked the song Trigger Got No Heart. So it was by that time he must have heard some shit, and he took his words back. So I couldn't smash on him after that. I was like, okay, well, I don't remember the interview where the interview was at, but I remember watching the interview when they like, what do you think is the shit on the West Coast? And Biggie was like, Trigger Got No Heart, like that Spice One shit. And I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, that flipped me out, and it still flipped me out today because I didn't know the cat and him and Pac had beef, and I really wish I would have met him because it might have been some cool shit. You know what I'm saying?
He gave a lot of props to Too Short.
Yeah.
His favorite rapper, as far as I know, was King T. So I know that Biggie loved West Coast.
Yeah. He was listening.
Why was Spice One not featured on All Eyes on Me? Because Pac was pushing the Bay hard. It was E40 in the clique, it was Sibo,
yeah.
It was a bunch of all the Bay Area OGs, you were the only one missing.
Hey man, I was locked up. I think I had like 4 gun cases at that time, and I had to do like 4 months in the county. And when I got out, you know, Tupac is like, man, where the fuck you been? I'm like, dude, I was locked up and shit. So he was even pissed off, like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? What happened? I'm like, man, I was locked up in Santa Rita County in the Bay Area for like 3 or 4 months. By the time I got out, that shit was over, and I was mad as fuck. So I just like, man, fuck it. We'll do some more shit, you know what I'm saying? We kicked it so much, we never really even fucking did. We did a few songs, but we was kicking it too hard to even think about fucking around doing songs. We got bitches, you know what I'm saying? We got weed. We drive around LA kicking it, talk about some real shit. You know, sometimes we just hit the studio up and just knock some shit down. That's why you find tracks with me and Tupac like spread it all over the place that we never released and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the last one with you two together that got leaked was the original version of Fame.
Yeah.
I saw your interview on YouTube, and you also had a funny story about meeting Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And of all the tracks you did with Pac, what was your personal favorite?
I would say it's a track called Can't Turn Back. And it's funny because we was smoking a gang of weed, and he like Spice, you know, you keep fucking going to sleep when we smoke. He was like, don't go to sleep and shit. I'm like, man, I ain't fucking going to sleep, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to the studio. We go to the studio, and we smoke like 5 fat ass fucking blunts and shit. And I'm like, I think like 20 minutes later, I was in a booth snoring and shit, like, So he dropped his verse, I dropped mine, like 8 bars, and then we let it go because we was coming back to the studio to finish it and record it. But before we can finish it, he got killed. So I find the track on YouTube where it's just my 8 bars, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna finish this shit. So I get the track and drop another 16. You know what I'm saying? So
it was the first released on some compilation in late 90s.
yeah.
I know that you were very pissed at Amaru, that the way they handled that One Day at a Time track, that they replaced you with Eminem, and
Yeah.
that you didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
What's your relationship with Pac's mother these days? Do you got one? Do you still have the permission, like to release some unreleased music of you and Pac on your albums?
I feel that I do. You know, I haven't talked to Feeney. I haven't talked to Feeney in a long time, you know what I'm saying? But I love Pac's mom, you know what I'm saying? And I just remember Pac coming in the house and telling Feeney if anything was to happen to him, that I was his nigga, like I was his homie. If anything was ever to happen to him, then I was his homeboy. I was his real homie. And I remember him telling his mom that. So she remembers that, and I do too. So, you know, I love Feeney, you know what I'm saying? So when anything goes down, if we ever communicate, then I know it's always all love. She just moving around, and so am I. You know, once I get to Feeney and give her a big hug and, you know, say what's up, then, you know, we'll be all good.
I got last question for you regarding Tupac. You did plenty of tributes for him on the song Make Sure They Bleed. You sang still looking for them bitch-made niggas who killed my homie Pac.
Yeah.
And in 2003 you did an interview when you say that Tupac said to you, after All Eyes on Me drop it, that he sold 6 million records and president got 2 million votes. Shit, I can run from president. Yeah. Do you think that was the reason that he got killed? That he wanna get involved more with the political side?
Hey, you never know. It could have been, because you never know what's really going on out here. You know, I mean, we come from the, you know, the truth. You know, we the truth spitters, and that's what we get. You know, that's what we get condemned for, because we spit the truth. But we naturally spit the truth. You know what I'm saying? So condemn us if you want. And they was just, you know, I'm like, you know, I had to nudge him, like, you know, chill out, shit. Because we spit real shit on purpose, just so we want to alert everybody, let everybody know what's really going on out here. You see, as long as they keep us focused on bitches, money, weed, and cars, and all of that shit, long as they keep us focused on that, then they can do what the fuck they want to do, because we're not paying any attention. But we need to focus on what's really going on, and that's us. We the truth spitters. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit. We might rap about it sometimes, but we really like to spit the truth. You know what I'm saying? We like to keep everybody aware and keep their head straight. You know what I'm saying? All of the drugs and all of that shit, man, we stick to the weed, man. We smoke weed and we drink. That's about it, because you never know what's gonna happen out here in this world. This shit is crazy. You gotta have your head straight, and that's what we here for. You know what I'm saying?
After you released 6 albums with Chive, you parted ways. Rumor goes that they wanted you to sort of tone down a little bit and change your whole thug mentality. And there is also a rumor that they wanted you to record an album called Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
With like different subjects.
Yeah.
Basically, not be so gangsta. Was it true?
Yeah, that was true, and I was like, how the hell can I record an album called Full Metal Jacket and not kick no gangster shit? So that's where our problem started at right there. I'm like, man, you know, I mean, why fix it if it's not broke? If we just sold 1 million copies of gangster shit, why would I go and switch up the shit and fuck up my fans? So that's where the dilemma came in, and it was like, you know, well, I want to shoot a video for this song, and they wanted to shoot a video for that song, and we like, you know, the creative control became an issue between me and a record label, and I kind of wanted to get off the label after that, because I felt like, you know, like I can't I can do me better than anybody. Nobody can do me better than me. So I can't be nobody else but me. And I write my own music, I spit my own shit, and my music is the story to my life. So when they tell me to change it up, it's like I can't change it up. It's me. You know what I'm saying? So we had a big issue over that, and you know, I was trying to get off the record label. By the time I got off, I was thinking, well, shit, I didn't know anything about independent because I signed the Jive at like 21 years old. I didn't know shit about independent. So it was like I was released to the sharks. So I just kept my head straight, went to go see Ice-T. He told me what was up, and I just kept pushing. You know what I'm saying? Real spit.